Let's do it. Let's go on a rant. And screw it, I'm posting this one. I never post my rants. Maybe I should start posting my rants. Maybe my roommate will walk in on me ranting, and he'll add something interesting. Hold on. Let me find my reason for living. Let me find something that keeps me a little bit happier when I'm not doing my best, I guess. Life is about learning. It's about existing in such a manner where you are willing to go and throw yourself at a wall and go under the bus and into the trash can and get bullied and get hurt and get emotions thrown at you and crashing off of your skateboard and messing up someone's day to learn. It's about living through the learn. Living through your heart and your soul and your mind. But don't let the mind take it. Don't let the mind take your soul. You gotta go live. And living is hard. And living is terrible. Living hurts. It stings. It burns. But you must live anyways. For no matter what you do, you will still be remembered. You will still be loved. And you will still be hated. I have the choice in my hands to do horrible things to me and myself and ruin my life because I think I'm such a bother to others sometimes. And I think it's not worth it for me to hurt others. Better I not exist, huh? But even when I do that, I'm still gonna hurt others. The people will remember me. The people that love me, even I might not know them, will remember me and they will see me on that day if it happens, which it won't. And they'll hate me. They'll look at me with such hatred and such just this energy that they wished I was so much more. If another person can look at that, if someone can look at what I did, that, and hate me because they wanted me to be better, why can't I hate myself and be better? Came out wrong, but you kind of get the idea. Why can't I strive to be me? Why can't I love through the hate of life? Why can't I live, And I'll point the fingers at things, like, oh, it's addictions. It's immorality. It's immaturity. I'm not grown up yet. I'm young. But ultimately, it's my choice to live. And live with my heart. And not care about what other people think about my heart. But live with my heart. And so we talk about, what are we going to do with our lives? What's going to be my future? Am I going to go get this job or that job? What job am I going to do? What career path am I going to have? Will I get it to the top? And I strongly think that when you get that thing in your life that you might avoid in favor for something more reliable, more profitable, or just something better logically, right? And if you really go into the logical side and you look at that thing, you would have wished you spent every day on earth living that thing instead of what you did. I've heard this from elders, from older people. I've heard this from people that aren't even that old. Maybe 30, 40, maybe 25. 25. And I hear it and I say, if I'm going to fail at life, I'm going to do it my way. And just maybe I won't fail. In the darkness, me and my roommate talked about this today, there has to be the existence of light. To have darkness, to be able to classify and know that you are in darkness, you have to know that there's a place with light. Because how could you tell darkness is darkness without light? And you might be stumbling in this dark room, tripping over things on the ground, barely finding your way, getting turned around. But I tell you the life, when you live it, you'll see the light was there the whole time. You just had to find the switch. You were hitting your head against the light bulb hanging from the ceiling constantly. And you just had to flip the switch. You just had to change. You just had to do it. You just had to go out there and risk it. And I'm not talking about gambling. That's different. I'm talking about you can't live in something you hate. If you hate your life, if you hate yourself, go change it. You can do it. It's free. Might take a little bit of cash, might take a little bit of time. But in reality, you don't even need to spend anything. You can just do it and say, I'm going to do it. And then you do it. That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple and that complicated. You have to wrap your head around it because it's hard, but it's simple. A lot of people like to say when I talk, I contradict myself. Or I've gotten it recently, a lot. They'll say, oh, well, Alex, you just said this. What do you mean? You just said this. A lot of times to those people, I like to say the world ain't black and white, but it's an excuse. It doesn't give the whole explanation. The whole explanation is I contradict myself because it's true. Because it's true. And you might look at me and say, you're crazy. You might look at me and say, what do you mean it's true? I'll tell you why it's true. When you go and live, and you see what life does, and you see how your childhood was, and how your teenage were, and how you are now, and how you're going to be in your 20s, or how you are in your 20s, or how you were in your 20s, you'll see that thing. That's life. And life contradicts itself more than anything else in this world. Except for maybe some guy that you might know. But it's kind of hard. Pretty close there, in my opinion. And I've done this recently. I came to this conclusion of life. I rarely do this. I haven't done this in probably 4 years. 4 years. Actually, this is the first time I actually feel confident in the conclusion even. Because before, I'll give you some. My meanings of life were of, living it fully. But that's it. Nothing about really trying about it. Just living how you are. Living where you are, living what you're doing. That's it. Accepting that the pain is there and that the hardship is there and the demoralization is there, and just living with it, and it's okay. It's before I thought that. And then I wasn't enough. I got hurt too much. I was too kind to others. Apparently that's a thing. And others, when you're too kind to them, there's a really big chance they take advantage of you. And that's what happened to me. So, and I turned away. I said, that can't be it. And then I found out about Christianity. You know, when I was 14, I went all in. I said, I'm giving my life to God. Let's do it, you know? And I asked for so many things, and then I never got them. And then I asked, God, you don't have to give me anything. Just don't take anything away. And then he took things away. And then I said, God, you know, are you even listening to me? You know, and now, you know, and then, then I left. And I said, okay, well, this is just, I mean, I can't make sense of life without a God. Christian or not, just, hey, something's out there. It might not even be what we say is a God, right? Something is out there. But I don't know if it's Christian, you know, I don't really know what it is. And I went to college and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was so worried about what I wanted to do and what I thought I should be doing, and like I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I just went out and kind of just threw stuff out the wall and hoping that it stuck, you know? I just went out and hoped for the best. I just went out and tried. And I tried in mechanical engineering, and I didn't like it, and I didn't want it, and I had bad grades, and I was like, I'm not going to be doing AutoCAD the rest of my life. My life is worth more than that. And then I went, okay, well, let me try art. Let me do this. Let me do that. Well, I tried to go into art. Couldn't change my major, but I switched all my classes. I had theater, what is it called? Not theater. It was a digital design class. It was something like that. And like I was just making stuff in there. I made animations. I made drawings. You know, I went full in the art. You know, and then I remembered the motorcycle I had at home. And I'd go home and I'd fix it, and I rode it to college, and I did the art that way in life too. A little bit, you know, the experience part. And then I met Emmy. I met this girl that knew so much about God, you know, and I didn't know how to take it. I talked to people smarter than her. You know, I've talked to people that know more about God, actually. But she was the first one to be able to tell me what it is, really. And now I'm in a position, after meeting with her group and finding out that these people are the leaders, and then talking about Christianity more, and talking more about where I think I am. You know, am I on that football field where I stand? Or on that soccer field? You know? Sorry, you guys are American. Where I'm on that soccer field and I'm at the line, you know, and there's no coach, and I just want to go play with my guys, you know, and have some fun. And I'm deciding, is I'm more comfortable on the bench sitting here behind the sideline. Should I really step over that line? It's risky. I could get hurt. This could happen. You know, you worry about that kind of stuff, you never live. You gotta step on the field. You can't just watch your life pass by and other people go and experience things, and you're sitting here like, man, I wish I was there. Yeah, you wish you were there. Why aren't you? Huh? Go do it. And I know it's not that simple. No, it's not that simple. It is that simple. It's just hard. It's just hard. That's all it is. And actually, that's all it ever will be. It's just hard. You just have to do it. That's it. And so I'm thinking now, like, man, should I really go into this Christian thing again? I got nothing last time. And then I thought about it, and then I thought, okay, well, I still have this, I still have that. And also I got some of the things that I really asked for. I just got them years later. Years later after I asked God. So I wondered, maybe I wasn't ready, or maybe I'm just impatient, Or maybe that's the only way it could have happened. Or maybe God just doesn't want me to have it, yet. But I wouldn't have had it done any other way. Everything happened in my life right where it should have happened. And it makes it really hard not to believe in that God. It makes it really hard. And so I'm going to go through life, and I'm going to go and try now, not because I want it, not because it's easier, or not because it's more worth it. I'm doing it to live. Maybe for God in the future, or maybe I already am. I can't really tell with my life. Right? So, but maybe there's something there. Sometimes you come across a person that lives a certain way, and you look at their life and you ask them, how can you be happy with the life you have? And other times that person that's getting asked the question is you. And so in the fullest sense, sometimes all you need in life is a job you love and a person to share it with. Sometimes all you need in life is a job you love and a life that you can share with a person. That job, everything outside of it, everything inside of it, everything. You just need someone to share your life with, and you need to do something you love. It could be music. And if you don't think you're the best at music, it's okay, just keep doing it. And if it's not it, don't worry. You'll find out what's the right thing to do. And you might find out when you're 40. And you might be like, oh my God, I'm 40. I have no time. I have no time to waste. I have this stable job. I have a family I have to take care of. I can't just go and do this thing. Well, make it. Make it work. If you say, I can't just do this thing, you're looking for reasons not to do it, really look at it and try and come up with reasons to do it as well as not to do it. And try to come up with ways, if you had to do it, how you would do it. And if you couldn't do it, would you be okay with it? And if you couldn't do it, would you still try anyways? And I have come to the conclusion that I'm willing to try anyways. I'm willing to go out there and really sell my soul to the audience, to the people, to you, and talk with heart and be misunderstood and be made fun of and make others angry and make people love. Because if I'm here and I have a chance of someone looking at me right now and having a smile on their face, so be it. That's the best way to do it. And if it involves doing something stupid, as long as it's not too dangerous, I'm in. It's this thing of life. You live for a little bit, and then you live for a lot, and there's no in between really. The in between doesn't matter. You can't figure anything out. You only have your assumptions when you're young that you carry through life, and then you lose them whenever you hit that second stage. I have not hit that second stage. I have not hit it. But I can tell you, I know I'm going to someday, and I can't wait for that day. I can't wait. I can't wait to be older and look back and say, I would have never done it any other way again. So yeah, let's post some videos. Let's make some content, Let's do it, is what I'm telling myself. And I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go be the next Jeremy Clarkson. I'm going to go do it. And I might not succeed. I might not be the Jeremy Clarkson, but I'll be the wingman on YouTube. And as a reporter, y'all will know me as the Alex. It's like, it's him. What do you mean, rich reporter? What do you mean? It's like, and then someone like I want my name, whenever people talk about me, I want them not to have to clarify which Alex they're talking about. Not because I want their attention, but because they look at my life and they see something they never saw before. I don't want the attention. I don't care about the attention. But I need the attention to show other people things, and I want to show other people things they've never seen before. I want to see ways of thinking that they think are absolutely out of this world, either the worst or best. I hope they judge me into my grave, and I hope they remember me after, and I live through that manner too. I want it. Because how can I live? How can I live without someone like that? Just one person looking at me and saying, wow, what a guy. That's insane. The things he did. I could have never imagined that he could even do it, let alone try. I want that. It's a want, and it's a goal. The sad thing is, when I bring in Christianity, I'm still gonna go and chase this goal. But I become so much less confident in it because I say, if this is the wrong goal, I'm never going to achieve it. And the worry creeps in. Yeah, and what if it's the right goal? And it's impossible to tell. It's not even 50-50. Probably the way things are going, I'm just going to leave this one and go on to the next. But why would I do it a different way? Wouldn't I chase this thing as much as I could while I think it's the true path? Let me go chase it. Maybe I'll find out faster that it's not the right path when I get to a certain point down it. It starts getting a little bit too muddy, and I see I don't have the shoes for it, and I can turn around earlier. I might be farther down the path, but I can turn around earlier in my life, and I can chase the next thing, and I can do it again and again and again if that happens. Or maybe I don't chase the thing ever again. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's the thing, the life, the live. So I'm gonna go and make videos about me living. That's my goal. I want people to look at my life, not for entertainment, but for guidance and learning. I don't want them to look at my life and not judge me. I want them to judge me. I want them to look at my life and say, what the fuck are you doing? And how the fuck is it working? And how the fuck can you live like that? How can you do it? I want them to say that. I want them to look at me in my eyes and say, how can you do this? How? You're but some guy. How can you do this? And I say, I don't know. Maybe I just like living a little bit too much. Maybe I just enjoy it. And maybe if y'all enjoyed it a little bit more too, you could also do it, right? But then I just sound arrogant. Then I just sound like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And I don't. No. I have no idea. But I'm gonna try. I'd rather be walking the streets with a camera pointed at me and telling y'all what I did that day and why it happened and what I learned from it. And then we go into a coffee shop. And I go into the coffee shop and I get an espresso and I sit outside across from the camera and I say, okay, guys, listen to the story. And I become that storyteller, that adventurer that people look at in awe. Not because he climbed Everest, but because he did everything. You name anything he hasn't done, he's done it, bro. It's nothing you can name. You have to look at him and at his experience, and you have to use it because he's done everything. He's done everything. And I sit there and I tell him, oh, I did this thing today and I learned this. And it reminds me of this story of when I was younger and this happened. Great big story, moral story. And I end with something like, so yeah, guys, don't just waste your life out here. You are living, aren't you? It's more work to take it away than to actually go do something you love. I want that. And I hope to God that if I follow him or if I do it right, that it works out. You know, maybe it just might work out. Thank you for listening for my rant. This is it's a Sunday, or no, it's Saturday still. It's not 12 a.m. Saturday in April something. I think it's the 13th. No, sorry, the 12th, maybe. Yeah. No. Today's the 11th. Yeah, today's the 11th. Yeah, it's the 11th. And it's 2026, and someone just decided to say that they're going to destroy a whole population of people. You know, wink wink, if you were born in 2026 or you existed in this time, you know what I'm talking about. Like, imagine someone's watching this video 40 years from now. It's a mystery lesson, like saying, look at the kinds of people that this caused. Like, look at how the generation reacted. The ones that were going to get affected the most, the ones that they had most of their life taken away, look how their life is affected, right? Oh, yeah. Life's a scary thing. That's what makes it interesting, you know? And if I'm a little bit scared when I'm going through something, maybe that means I'm doing it right. You know? So, yeah. And so I'm going to ride my bike. I'm going to record it. And I'm going to make campfires and talk to a camera. And I'm going to say something. And maybe someone will get something out of it. And I'm going to show others how I live. And I'm going to show how effortless it is to be happy. How effortless it truly is to be happy. It's hard to do. It's so hard in some aspects, but there's a moment where it clicks. At least I think I'm speaking from experience. I'm not old enough to know. I don't know if I can even say I speak from experience, but like there's a moment where it clicks, where the something that you're doing clicks. When that girl just clicks, you know? When that bike that you ride, that motorcycle, just clicks. When the car that you choose at the dealership, it just clicks. And you hate to see those things go. Like, you hate to see the car leave. You hate to see the girl leave, because you actually care this time. This time you actually care. This time it means more. Or maybe it is that first time and you are one of the lucky ones that cared at first. Like, at the first time. You know, and maybe that is the only time. Maybe that first time is enough for you to learn everything about love. Maybe it's that good, you know? Now, I'm not saying go ahead and text your exes, but if you're missing one, it's for a reason, right? So yeah, what's my plan, right? So how are we going to make it happen now? Well, it's simple, really. I'm going to go into communication major. Once I get my grades up, because I'm already going on the way after this second semester, I can switch to communications now. Couldn't even switch to art because my GPA was low. But look, now I can do it, maybe. There's that hope, there's that light in the darkness that exists somewhere that I can't see, and that's just enough. That's enough for me to keep going. It's enough for me to keep going. And like the people I'll meet, the people I'll talk to, and I'll say, okay, well, you're going to have to be on camera because I record my life. That is it's not even my job, it's how I live. Other people need to see others. And if they can't do it in person, I'm going to make them look on a screen and see what life is about in every region of the world, in every kind of person. I'll take so many people off of the streets of America and interview them, basically. And say, what do you think about life? The deep conversations that people like to avoid here. I'm not afraid of asking those questions and making the other person mad, and I will record that too. And I hope they make me mad too, you know? I hope I get something out of it too. Ah, man. And I'm gonna go into communication, you know, and I'm gonna go and start making videos like I am now. This is like the start of it, you know? I'm starting. This is it. You're watching the first one. It's an amazing thing to see, huh? And I'm gonna go and fix my bike all the way finally. And I'm gonna go and record my trips from here to my home, you know? And I'm gonna go and live. And I'm gonna make you guys watch it. I'm gonna sit you guys down. I'm gonna say, you have to watch this. And I know it's boring, but you gotta watch this one. Just wait. Just wait a little bit. It's a 20-minute episode. Just wait a little bit. This one's 30, but you get the idea. So yeah. And I hope that someday I'm able to look back at my life and point to things for my children. When they ask, Dad, what did you do? I'm able to say, I did this, I did this, I did this. I did that. Oh, no one did that. I did that. I did this stupid thing and I learned from it, and I kept doing it for a time even though I learned from it. Even though I thought I knew from it, I didn't really know from it, and I couldn't change. And then I changed. So I looked like this, I dressed like this, I talked like this. I acted like this, I did it fully. And I never tried to hurt anyone. That was never my goal. I never let, if my life was living, if living my life, if a part of it was hurting people, that is not living. Because you don't live by hurting people. You live by helping people. You live by being there for them. And you live by sitting down with a random guy at a gas station when you're coming home from a camping trip on your bike and listening to this old Green Beret talk about his martial arts experience and how he lived and how he was in the military and what he did and how his kids are and what they're doing. And you listen. You really listen to those people. And if you get lucky, it'll make sense. So go out there, man. Go do it. Do that stupid thing. If that's what you love, trust me, the life's gonna be worth it. If that's what you love, it's gonna be hard, but the life is gonna be worth it. Even if you don't have money, the life is gonna be worth it. Even if everyone leaves you, it's still gonna be worth it. And if it's not worth it, that means you got the wrong thing. And that's the scariest part about it, the risk. What if I choose the wrong thing? What do I do if I go all the way there and I realize I did something wrong? And I say, trust me, if you know that you're chasing the thing that you want and you're willing to be spontaneous and change on a dot, if you're chasing that dream life that's not yachts or money, but meaning, you won't make it to the end of something that has no meaning. Something that has meaning to you, you will always go all the way. Always. Because it's so easy. It's effortless. It's no longer a job or a position or a life even. It's your life. The ultimate form of creativity, you could say, is living. It's living. Because only you can live. You're the only one. You're the only one that has control. That's the only thing you have control over, is how you live. And it's the most creative thing you can ever do. So go out there and be the most creative. I'm not saying be that creative villain. I mean, if that's your goal and you think it's right to chase and you don't think it's a villainous aspect, all right. I mean, I can't stop you, really. I don't have enough power, honestly. The people don't really watch my videos right now. But if you're living for the good, if you live and your way of living is moral, and you help, and you are willing to go places that you thought are so bad just to see if it's truly bad, if you're willing to live like that, that's a life. That's a life, huh? And I did that with Christianity. More about that later. I think I'll have a whole nother rant about just Christianity, but this one's gonna be called life. And I think it's a great place to start. I think this is a place where I can go back to this video and look at it and say, oh, I got this wrong, and I can't wait to make the next one about life 2, the second part of life, the second stage. I'm technically already in the second, maybe the fourth or fifth. Or maybe I'll just say there are no stages eventually, and I just say the life is the life, and you just gotta live it. And living it means doing what you love. You have to have a feeling. Your heart has to hurt whenever your thing gets hurt. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll leave you guys with that. Go love something so much in life, second to your wife, that you are willing to get hurt over. Yeah. Second to your romantical partner. Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, I guess, huh? See ya.